What's going on, fellow Uplanders, and welcome to a special edition of the Epics Podcast. I am your host, Too Stupid to Win, and as always, I'm joined by ThankMeLater. How we doing, brother?
I'm doing great. Wait, in this new format, do I not get to hear the opening song?
Oh, you don't get to hear it?
I didn't. Nothing came through.
Oh, man. Oh,
Wait, that's not going to be acceptable.
All right. Well, guess what? The best part is we're still recording for the podcasts, and even though we're live, everybody that's listening, let's try this again.
Wait. Oh, okay.
Welcome, fellow Uplanders, to another exciting episode of the Epics Podcast. I am your host, Too Stupid to Win, and we're here on a special edition for the release of Los Angeles. As always, I'm joined by ThankMeLater. How are we doing tonight, brother?
Man, I'm living the dream, man. Living the dream.
How's your Block Explorer trades going?
On fire. Just got a couple more. I love Block Explorer so much.
Yeah. So we got Los Angeles releasing in a couple of days. We're being recorded on January 25th of 2022, which is a Tuesday. We have a stress test coming up January 26th, and then the release of South Los Angeles is happening on Thursday the 27th. So ThankMeLater and myself were talking and said, hey, we should definitely do a special episode, do a last minute cram session and break some things down for our loyal listeners, so you are prepared to go into Los Angeles ready to go. And before we get too farther into the episode, the views, information, and opinions expressed on the Epics Podcast are solely those of myself and ThankMeLater and any guests of the podcast, and do not necessarily reflect those of Upland Me Inc. We're not employed by or provided insider information from the Upland team. We are not financial advisors. All discussions about properties to buy and sell are not financial advice. Please do your own research first, and our show is for entertainment purposes only if you have not been able to figure that out yet. I added some tweaks as we've grown.
I was like, does that thing get longer every year? Jeez.
It does. More and more liability. The bigger we grow, the more we open ourselves up.
My goodness.
Now, if you did miss our last episode, we did have the top 5 things that you want to do prior to a city release.
Ooh,
banner, scrolling. I couldn't say stream. I wanted to say streaming. So, the top 5 things we said was buy up liquidation, research and target properties, find a node/team, be prepared, and 5, have fun. So now we're into the research and target and be prepared. Let's get to some general aspects of Los Angeles. So overall, if you look at the website out in California about California and the Los Angeles city, there's 114 neighborhoods. I haven't had a chance to count how Upland broke down the neighborhoods, but there's 114 in the real world of Los Angeles, and there's about 504,000 properties. As you can tell, this is going to be a treasure hunt tier 1 and overall tier 1. I'm excited that there's going to be at least 25 collections. I think there's going to be over 30. What's your thoughts?
You think over 30?
Oh, yeah.
No, we can't have. That's a lot.
But there's so much in Los Angeles.
I feel like
Think of all the
it's not.
colleges.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. That would be a lot. I think
Well, it says
27. I think like 27. I think less than 30.
all right. I got 30 and greater, and you got less than 30.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's so much between the record labels and the movie studios and celebrity houses, famous streets, neighborhoods. There's just theaters. There's just so much out there.
Yeah. I mean, again, I can see it. I just think 30 would be a lot.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's not a lot. I'm just saying that, hey, it's
I mean, it
just the
is
size of the
LA.
city.
I mean, this is a big one. I mean, this is on par with Manhattan. So,
Right.
I mean, it's been a while since we've had a release of this magnitude.
Yeah.
Like Chicago and Kansas City were nice. I think Cleveland, did we release Cleveland somewhere in there?
Stop it.
Every once in a while, I just go, wait, yeah, what the heck were they thinking? Like Cleveland?
Stop.
Okay.
Like I was excited for Manhattan. I was super pumped for Cleveland. Still disappointed. You got to rub that salt in my wound each and every time, and it's a wound that will not heal. It won't heal.
Never. I'll never let it heal.
It was horrible, but anyway, and I haven't been this excited since Manhattan, and almost as excited as Cleveland, but yeah, that release just man. Anyway, but I am happy once again that we are in vanilla mode for collections. I like it.
Yeah. I like the vanilla mode. It keeps the prices down as well because they don't add in the multiplier, so you can really get some pretty good deals. So yeah, I mean, I like the vanilla mode. Plus, you never know, you get super lucky on an ultra rare. That's a good day.
Yeah, but then everybody also thinks that they have an ultra rare property and they think it's going to be a 5x ultra rare too.
Those are some of the funnest gambles. I took one with my dude Green Turtle back in Manhattan. I don't remember what we were doing, but he had a property that was like a pier off one of the sides, and like we were still speculating that piers would be a collection, and I paid a bit of a markup on it, but and that didn't end up panning out. But yeah.
Yeah. FSA 13%. And as we stated, stress test going to be Wednesday, 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern. And Southern release is on Thursday, January 27th, if everything goes well with the stress test. Now, it has been known that, the system's overwhelmed at times for some city releases. So hopefully the stress test goes well. They figure everything out, make some tweaks so we can release on time on Thursday. And actually, I have time available ready for the release. So I'm excited for that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You taking off or just like...
Schedule my lunch.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's fair.
Schedule my lunch. So I'll go ahead and roll with that. And then if everything runs smooth, a week later, they're going to release the northern half of Los Angeles. What do you think about this split that they're doing this time?
Yeah, I mean, I'm curious why they're doing that way. Like, is it that they want? Because okay, let's say hypothetically, day one of LA, there's I don't know, however many hundreds of millions of UpX in play. So 500 million UpX in play. And you go, okay, well, if we dilute that across the entirety of all the properties, then it's going to look like less of an initial sellout. However, if we combine it to not only half the size, but really populated in all of the juicy, good parts of LA, and release that first, and then your money would essentially be put in that area and would sell out a lot more. which I think would create a more positive narrative from a marketing perspective. But other than that, I have no reason why they would cut this in half.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, you could think back to the bubble days in Manhattan, but still, you're releasing a lot of properties. I understand that you have more players in the game than what we had when Manhattan was opened up in, what was it, like 7 or 8 different bubbles?
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah. And Inglewood is in the green part that's not considered part of Los Angeles, but it's going to be part of the release. If you look up right there, there's that big white space between the orange and
yeah, that was
color.
A really odd move. I don't understand why it's like a different
so that's
level.
that white spot is Beverly Hills and West Hollywood, which is not part of Los Angeles.
Yeah, we were discussing that earlier. That's crazy. To think like those will be kind of exclusive releases. Like that'll be like a big thing when it's released.
Yeah, it will be part of the Los Angeles hub, but it's not Los Angeles, and it's so small that I don't know. That's going to be a wild release.
Yeah, it's going to be like Berkeley Alameda. Really, I mean, it sounds like they were testing that out with like a Berkeley Alameda like mini expansion that got gobbled up quick, right? And I think like that's kind of good for the economy is when they see higher sales, and then usually whales will get excited and look for more. Does it look like a little girl's head? Like her nose is the pointy, and then it goes into her hair. No, okay.
I see more of a dog.
A dog, okay, maybe. Anyway, and she's got really long legs, and then the bottom thing is her foot. No, okay.
Yeah, we're sitting on. So you sat on the doctor's couch lately, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ink blots of Los Angeles.
The ink blots of Los Angeles. You know what? The other thing is, I was just thinking about this would be interesting to treasure hunt across then, because those would not be hunt areas.
Yeah.
And then you'd have this like one bottom part. I mean, it would either. I think I would struggle to treasure hunt in LA.
Yeah, and that's something we need to do a breakout episode on where we talk about treasure hunt nowadays, because when we first started playing, there was no such thing as treasure hunts. Back in the day, there was no such thing as treasure hunts. That was something absolutely new. And you were the madman that said, "Oh, watch this. I'm going to show all you guys up." And you bought strategically throughout the city of San Francisco. So you had a little bit of everything everywhere. Well, now players don't have that ability. So they have a harder time treasure hunting than what some of the people that were around when it first came out that bought up those strategic properties. And nowadays it's a huge investment to go with a strategy like that.
Oh yeah. No, you'll see. It's actually interesting how many times I've been hit up about various properties because players are trying to fill part of their map. There's actually a couple properties I own that I guess like no one has any properties in that area because I get messages all the time, actually, people building out their webs.
Yeah. But yeah, especially if you get down by Long Beach, that'd be interesting. And it's just weird, that little corridor going up.
Right. Do you think properties there would be more or less valuable? Do you think being in that little corridor would be a plus?
It just depends on how quickly they expand the Los Angeles hub.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. Especially when you start thinking about how they're going to be doing the enterprise stuff with the licenses are per city, right? So in theory, like if one of those side cities had a lot of the businesses, you could like sneak one through the LA chamber and be like, okay, hey, look, I got a business right here, serve all the markets.
Yeah. And it will just be overall interesting as this hub develops, especially with you got Malibu there, Beverly Hills, Long Beach, Burbank up top, Pasadena. So it's going to be interesting as it develops. Now, this came from the Metaverse and from the what show does he have? The Board Uplander Club. So this is his. He's a LA grown up, lives there, loves it there. This is his theory of how LA will break down.
Yeah, no, I like it. I think he's dead on about some of this stuff. With the yield farming, you mentioned it earlier. Man, that got me. Yeah, because that's just, you know what's funny? That's the second release. They're not releasing that part first. So, like I said before, I think it's strategic to force the money in and try and have it a larger, quicker sellout, and then open up the second half almost as just an expansion. So, I think that's one of their strategy here.
And that nice little strip is the Board Uplander just hit us up in chat and said that it has almost no properties, just industrial through it, which is interesting as you start looking at your businesses, like you were saying, and that's a nice little hub with big lots of land. I bet you they're expensive lots of land.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. I wonder how they decide that. And then, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what it looks like. I would be interested in trying to get properties on there, I think.
Yeah. Now, I do like how he calls just North Los Angeles yield farming. So they're releasing all the expensive, exclusive, rare stuff down south first, and then it's just like, here's the scraps later on. A week later, everybody else grab your scraps.
Right.
But I think you can't go wrong anywhere in Los Angeles.
No, I don't think so. I think much like Manhattan, you're going to be very happy to be a landowner in LA.
Now, that's the thing is being a landowner in LA. Take for example, in Manhattan, we were razzing on Dizzy as he was buying up Harlem like it was going out of style.
Oh my gosh, yeah. No, we wake up. It's like imagine going to bed after Christmas, right? You've opened all your presents and you go to bed and you wake up and there's just a Tasmanian devil in your house destroying all of your beautiful presents. That was Dizzy 24 hours after the release. Everyone had calmed down. We're like, okay, we all got our little piece of Manhattan. We're happy. And then Dizzy in the middle of the night just starts buying up everything. And it was sheer panic. What's happening? Why are these selling so fast? I'm not sure how he humanly bought that many in the amount of time he did. It was bonkers.
I mean, he's a machine and it doesn't faze him. He just says, all right, I'm putting in work. And he goes to town for hours.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's his job. Literally, it's yeah, what do you do? I'm a data entry because that's you just buy. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's going to be neighborhoods like that in Los Angeles, and Dizzy was buying them for what, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a pop in Harlem, and then they were selling for $65,000, $75,000, and now the floor of Manhattan's $200,000 UPEX.
Yeah, I'm very impressed with the Manhattan market. I mean, it has to have exceeded everyone's expectations. Honestly, it's such a, just great market. I've made so much money off of Manhattan, off of my garbage in Manhattan. I'm a happy camper. I crushed that.
I just didn't buy enough of Manhattan, and I'm disappointed. But
oh yeah, I'm not going to make that mistake with LA.
No, absolutely not. I'm coming in with about 2.5 million, 3 million by the time we get
Yeah.
there Thursday.
Yeah, I would have been at that, but I think I bought 2 million worth of block explorers this week, so I might only have one or two left for LA.
Now, one of the things we talked about last episode was being prepared for a new city launch. So you get to Los Angeles. There's a couple strategies there. If you take the train or if you take the airport and get off at LAX, do you stay on and wait for the city release to disembark, or do you disembark and start floating and hope you land over a target area?
That's a good question. Traditionally, I've been afloat because I like the idea. It happened to me in Fresno. Um, I didn't know any. I didn't do any research for Fresno, and Fresno was not a vanilla launch. I believe all the collections were launched with Fresno, if I remember correctly. But either way, I just remember like my block explorer. I let him go, and he had floated to the bottom of Fresno. No one was there. It was the darndest thing. This very popular release. No one was around me, and I'm just like minting up all of these massive properties only to find out later I was like completely away from all of the collections, and everyone was just gobbling up these good um, properties. Why was that? What was that tangent from? Was that,
If you're gonna float or if you're gonna stay on the
oh,
train or
float?
plane.
I was like, why? So float. I like floating because you can sometimes get to a unique part of the city and be first to kind of mint there. But if yeah, that's just me. You stay in, don't you? Aren't you like a camper?
Now I did in Chicago just because that was for the terminal release. It wasn't up for, the random lottery. Well, congratulations, you can buy in 367 days and 8 hours.
Oh my gosh, the worst.
Chicago, you were actually able to. It was first come, first serve, and I sat on the airplane and departed like seconds before the terminals went up for sale, so I could snag one.
Yeah.
But usually I get out and float and see where I just end up and look for people in the other areas that I'm targeting, and then I'll jump to that. So that's the thing. The system gets bogged down on a new city release, and you have your two-factor authentication on, and all of a sudden, do you send back to the airport or the train station and waste a send, or what do you do? Because there's been times where people are sitting there 5 or 10 minutes because they're not getting their text message in. Do you just turn it off?
Yeah. No, you should definitely just turn off your two-factor authentication if you're looking to get your account hacked. Yeah, that's a great idea. How about you just use the in-app feature of manual authentication just a little bit of time before the release. That way you don't have to waste a send. You get your two-factor authentication. You don't have to worry about being hacked.
And that's where a lot of people miss is the manual authentication. And that's key. That's part of being prepared. So you don't waste a send, and you're not waiting for a text message, and you're not watching your guess of an ultra rare property being bought up right before your eyes.
I mean, yeah. I don't know if it has to be that dramatic, but okay.
So if you haven't seen, Upland did put out the how to get to Los Angeles. And I was actually surprised at how cheap it was to fly from San Francisco to LAX.
Really? I mean, that's a super quick flight.
Yeah, super quick flight, 340 UpX.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's reasonable. Those are usually pretty cheap flights.
I mean, but you can get the train for 130. So, I mean.
Wait, well, but the train's what, an hour?
50 minutes, but yeah.
Yeah. No? Just take my 34 cents. Thank you.
So hopefully you are already in Los Angeles, or you're on your way to Los Angeles. I did like the
Oh, are
message.
you in LA?
I am waiting to get off the plane right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
So that's how it is. You don't remind me to go to LA?
I just did.
Jeez.
I just did.
Okay.
No, but they said you'd have a couple of days to get there, and by definition, a couple is 2 days, so you do have plenty of time. But they did open up the amount of extra travel that you can take through the airports or train stations.
Ooh. Flying to LAX. Let's go.
You're on your way. But why do Upland planes only fly at 10,000 feet?
Man, I need to have a good, really nerdy response to that. I don't know, because of net neutrality. I don't know what you want from me. I have no idea.
I just always find it weird. They just climb to 10,000 feet and that's it.
Yeah, that's as far as the extension cord reaches. I don't know.
So here's a couple of, if you look at real world prices in Los Angeles, here's your top neighborhoods by price for the average home.
What in the F is Humbly Hills?
It's a very
What?
humbly place to hang out in the hills.
What is that word even? Like, but that's just like big energy. Like, it's just like, I don't even care. We don't even care. Our houses are average 27 million a piece. You ain't ever need to hear of us. We're Humbly Hills. Like, I think they're like the gangsters of LA. Like, oh, no one talks about Humbly Hills. Like, why have I never heard of this place?
Yeah. But Bel Air Estates, that's definitely going to be a hot commodity. All five of those places, you'll see a lot of people go after, buy up, and the resale value will be pretty insane.
Yeah. Yeah. So how quick, well, I don't know if we're going to talk about it later, but how quick do you think the south part of LA is going to sell out?
Oh, I don't know. How fast did the Bronx sell out?
Was Bronx 24 hours?
I think.
You think it's going to sell out as fast as the Bronx?
I mean, this is LA. Come on now. And if there's only 500,000 properties and they're only going to release half of that.
Yeah, 250.
Yeah. That shouldn't.
Yeah.
That shouldn't take you long.
That's true. Disney's buying 40 of them. Like,
right?
There's 40,000 off the top. Just give Disney his cut so the rest of us can go.
Now the other hot one is going to be Hollywood. The Hollywood neighborhood is going to be huge.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I would imagine so.
I mean, you got Santa Monica Boulevard. You have,
which is going to be a collection. Come on.
Yeah, you got the that Chinese theater, the TCL Chinese theater that's there. You have you got the Hollywood Heritage Museum, the Roosevelt Hotel. You got the Egyptian Theater. I mean, you have Capitol Records Building, Paramount Pictures.
Where's the studios at? Are the studios part of this somewhere?
Some of it, yes. Some of it, no.
Because that would be gnarly. That would be something cool to own.
Yeah. And those things are going to be pretty big lots. So that might.
Oh, yeah.
That might take up your whole. I don't know. I don't even think you'd be able to buy it for $2 or $3 million. I think it's going to be even higher than that for some of the studio lots, just because of the sheer size and the price per up square.
Maybe you could be right on that. It's been a while since we've seen some like mega million properties. New York had a couple, but like,
yeah,
I don't know many of the city releases that have like a 12 million or 5 million, even maybe 5 million UpX properties.
Yeah. Board Uplander Club says 72 hours max that they'll sell out. South LA will sell out.
72 hours max. Yeah,
I could buy
maybe.
that.
Yeah. Yeah, actually. Yeah. I was talking to one of the groups and I said, I think it'll take all of LA a month to sell out. And I stand by that. The South LA might sell out quick. It's got all the good stuff. The other 250,000, I feel like, is going to sell a lot slower, but we'll see. It's scary, the community's appetite for all these new pieces of land. Like, I like it.
I mean, you got Santa Monica Boulevard, you got Crenshaw, you got Rodeo Drive. Is Rodeo in Beverly Hills?
Oh, it might be.
I'm not sure on that one, but you got a lot of famous streets too. So,
yeah. Oh no, the streets is going to be great. The communities are going to be great.
South Central LA, you going there?
What's there?
I don't know, but South Central LA, and today was a good day. Ice Cube.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I had nothing there.
I got nothing, man.
No. But on another note, now we talked about we're going to come with a couple million UpX. What if you're somebody that has 100,000 UpX? What's their best strategy for coming into LA?
Buy the floor, find the cheapest properties you can buy, and buy as many of them as you can.
And then put them up for sale right away.
And put them up for sale for 3x, 5x immediately. And yeah.
So how much do you repeat on that before you start stashing away to start collecting an inventory?
I mean, it depends on how quick the market is going. So like if it's already sold out, do it until it sells out, really. And yeah, you just got to watch that. Because you don't want to get caught not being able to mint and then having to pay markup to get back into the market. So,
right. Ooh, I just saw this. Board Uplander Club said 2 blocks south of Netflix headquarters on Sunset. So you got a Netflix headquarters on Sunset. I knew Netflix had a headquarters there. I just didn't realize it was on Sunset.
Damn. All right.
There's a lot of killer properties out there. I
want that property.
You and probably 100 other people.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see on Thursday.
And then hopefully it's not one of the. Okay, so half a million UpX. What do you do with 500,000 UpX on the LA release?
500,000. I would take 250,000 and use that to buy a couple properties that you've looked into. So like your top picks, either on a street or what you think is going to be a collection or things that you suspect could even be an ultra rare. Spend 250,000 on that, and then spend 250,000 buying small properties to flip.
That makes sense.
What about you? What would you do?
I was going to go with about 300 to 350,000 for properties that you want, that you've researched. Try to target those, and then do the remaining 150 to flip, especially if you're able to get 3x to 5x on it. You can build back up your
that's
bankroll.
true.
And then you,
Yeah.
but either way, and then you got Venice Beach. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff out there.
Ooh.
You have
Venice Beach is in that? Is that where all the like outdoor workout big muscle guys are?
yeah. Yep. I mean, the Viper Room is going to be sought after too. That's a classic music venue there.
That was just on the Viper Room was just as a part of I Can See Your Voice with Kim Jong. Anyway.
Yeah.
It's because if you don't watch it, you don't. It was a contestant. It doesn't matter. You've not seen it. You're not going to get it. Listeners who have seen it, they've got it. That's all that matters.
And then you have over 350 recording studios in Los Angeles.
Yeah, that's crazy. And the hip hop scene is like a very large presence in the NFT and meta spaces. That's been my experience.
Yeah, absolutely. They had a Nas was just doing a big NFT push for his new album. That was pretty cool too. You got so much stuff going on there. Don't forget all the comedy clubs that you have out there.
Yeah, so many collection opportunities, eh?
And think about all the true crime stuff that happened in LA. You have that genre of people that chase those true crime murder houses and all that fun stuff, all the celebrity houses.
Yeah, celebrity. I want like a map of the stars kind of thing. Like that'd be fun. That'd be fun to do. What are you doing?
Sorry, I was
so much dead air. That was the worst. Like what? That's the worst entertainment flaw ever. You just cut to dead air.
So I figured you'd hit one of those music loops really quick. I lost the page that I was on. I lost the page. Ooh, but you know what also is out there?
What
is the OJ house?
Oh shit! Yeah. Whoa, who's called? Why is my work phone calling me?
That's never good.
No.
Major crash. I mean, you had some big stuff go on in LA from the Manson houses out there. Yeah, it's a lot of notorious places, and that will be fun. You got your landmark houses. I don't know. So get there early, do your research, and a well laid out plan. Make sure you have a couple of pivot points to it, because I thought I was pretty set up for one of the releases. I've never struck out that bad in my life.
Yeah, have a plan A, B, and C.
Yeah, and don't get too disappointed.
Yeah, don't get disappointed, especially with your first time. You're still trying to figure it out. Like even the veterans, we're the same. Yeah, just let it go. It's just a game, man. It's just a game.
It's just a game. Have fun, enjoy it, and that's all. You getting in on a live chat? You getting on a live chat for the LA release?
Yeah, I think I probably will if TNA is doing that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's always fun. Find a voice chat to get into, or a team, set something up and work that way, because that's always fun in itself.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, you got any final words of advice for an LA release?
No, I mean, it sounds cliche, but if you're getting in now, you're still getting in on the ground floor. Like LA is an opportunity to get into what will ultimately be one of the OG cities and will be, very valuable. So definitely be excited about it, get in, and good luck.
And that's what I'm excited about is that LA's released before, as we said before, all the big money comes in. So you're not going to be disappointed with the end results. It's not going to be overnight, but I didn't even see Manhattan's value skyrocketing like it did. I always knew it would be huge. I just didn't think it would take off over San Francisco that quickly.
Yeah, and by like a 5x number too.
Right.
Yeah. I think that LA is the last or the biggest last release of North America. I think the next time you see a release this big, it'll be the first overseas city. I just don't see any other city released inside of the U.S. being as big as this.
Not even Miami?
No, not even Miami. I think Miami's a Chicago. Like Miami, Chicago, San Diego, Dallas, like St. Louis, big cities, people know them, but I put them all at a Chicago level, not a Manhattan level.
I can see that, but a lot of money Miami. You know, I could put it up just under Manhattan and Los Angeles, but greater than Chicago.
Maybe we'll see how big they determine Miami is as well. Like if they make it smaller, I don't know the size of Miami, but if they make it smaller, then yeah, probably a little bit more elite. If it's large like Chicago was, but yeah, talking about a city that has not been talked about at all. But
yeah, but just
LA.
remember, get to LA early. You don't want to be left holding the bag and wishing you were in LA. Go ahead, do your manual verification right before the stress test or right before the city launches. And then just find a team. You know, the Board Uplander Club, they're having a voice chat for the release too. So check them out. Thank you for joining the chat and watching us live today and giving us that map to for your speculations. We do appreciate that. And we do look forward to talking to everybody on Thursday after the release has hopefully successfully launched.
Yes.
And until then, be safe and talk to you Thursday.